everyone, Kim here from Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. I am super thrilled to be going over the court cards with you because I know that for me it was an area that I struggled, and it wasn't until I found fun ways for me to interact with the courts that it really started to sink in. So I hope that as you're watching all the videos in this 6-part series, that you're starting to get comfortable with understanding that you are the reader. Yes, there are associated meanings and attributes to each of the court cards in each of the suits, but you as the reader are the ones who decides how you're going to interpret them, how you're going to work with the court cards. From each reading to each reading, what is your method of approach to them? You are the one that dictates that. There's not going to be some book out there or some guru or some tarot expert that's going to just tell you the right and wrong ways. You have to have an understanding of the meaning, sure, yes. And it also helps to understand that the cards, when they're all on the table, they're probably talking or wanting to talk to one another and inform you in a multi-layered way in the reading. But with the courts, it's a little different because they can exclusively cover people, right? Or you just say, hey, the courts are going to just represent situations or events happening to the querent or the people in the querent's life, or you're only going to use them as significators. Or you could be like me, I go with my gut and determine how they're needing to be read from reading to reading, question to question, querent to querent. I listen to my intuition. But that came from studying the meanings, working with the cards on the daily basis, forming my own voice in how I'm delivering these readings, and trusting my intuition. Okay, so I'm saying all that because I've probably said it throughout the whole series, but I really want that to sink in for you. You know, time and time again, I see people looking for the right teacher, and that's cool, and you should find the right teacher. But you're looking for them to give you this nugget of information, like you should only use the courts this way. Well, for me, I don't approach it that way. I'm like, no, you are the steward of your table, your reading table. You get to decide that. You get to decide how you're going to approach your readings, how you're going to approach your court cards. All right, enough, because we got a lot to do in this video. This is the suit of Pentacles, and we know with the Pentacles, I'll zoom in a moment if I need to, but we're just talking right now. The suit of the Pentacles are the earth elements. Now, what we know from earlier videos, this typically is representing folks who are earth signs like Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And these are down to earth people, okay? They deal with, in terms of situations, health and money matters, and the actual physical beings of ourselves, the actual physical representation of a manifestation, right? The tangible. This table is a physical manifestation of someone who designed it at one point, dreamt it up and said, okay, I'm going to design it. First, you started with that spark, right, of inspiration with the wands. So you said, oh, I really would like this. Or maybe even start with the swords energy of dreaming about the table. And then it became a labor of love as you started to design it and started to work on it each day. And then the actual putting it together, the physical manifestation. That's what we're talking about with the Pentacles. And you can apply that analogy to most anything. So it also deals with long-term goals, it being the Pentacle suit, your family, your home, material things. And for me, it is the slowest moving energy in all of the suits. Okay? It's like years in the making type of deal. So I had to say all that to get into, sit up. There you go. I had to get into that before we dive into the individual cards. So we've got the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is studious. They're dependable, very diligent and focused. May sit on the sidelines, maybe a bit introverted because they don't mind missing out on fun if they've got a goal in mind. So they're gonna stick to their goals and take it step by step, even at the cost of socializing, hanging out, falling in love, etc. These little pages are about pursuing goals. This page also likes money and explore ways to gain financial security. And when you're talking about messages, because the pages in all suits are tied to delivering messages or being a messenger. This page is delivering news regarding jobs, health, family, or money. Okay. And when you think of messages, right, that could be bank statements. That could be a medical report. That could be a job offer via email or via letter, messages, okay? Or a home loan approval. Okay. Now, we're going to continue on with the Knight. Pull the Knight up. Here's the Knight. Notice I would say the pace that this Knight is moving. He's got no shoes on. So this Knight has to be quite deliberate and cautious in their steps. They have to be a bit tender-footed, So the Knight of Pentacles is efficient, hardworking, cautious and methodical. They're also very reliable. And they enjoy following steps. And they don't mind gradual progress. And sometimes they can be a bit too cautious, overly cautious. However, they're quite trustworthy. They're trustworthy individuals, and they're kind-hearted. Sometimes they need a nudge. They may need a nudge. When you think of the phrase "slow and steady wins the race," you can think of the Knight of Pentacles, and they take their time doing things, a long time sometimes. But they are one of those groups of folks who's like, I'd rather do it right the first time. So I'm going to take my time. Okay? So that's the Knight of Pentacles. Now we have the Queen of Pentacles. Isn't she gorgeous? Queen of Pentacles is maternal. And she creates a warm and inviting home for herself and for others. She's quite sensual, and I mean all tastes and all senses and all sights and sounds. And she taps very well into all of the physical senses. Okay. And I mentioned that she is sensual, but also a strong and solid business person. With her, home is where this queen loves to be. And she's studious and cultivates a place where things can grow. And she's serene. At times, though, she can be a bit overbearing and may a bit too materialistic. Her love language is showering others with gifts. And she's good with money and business matters. Either she could be a spendthrift or a big spender, and that's depending if the card is upright or reverse, or what the corresponding cards are on the table to inform you of is she being too spendthrifty, or is she being too materialistic, etc. Finally, we have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, he is realistic, he's trustworthy. He can be stern at times. However, he's super reliable and a stable force for those who depend on him. And we love his hardworking spirit, and he's got upper management written all over him. He is a shrewd business person, and he takes his time and encourages others to do the same. He is seen as an expert in most everything that he does and encounters. However, he can be very stubborn and set in his ways. He's also a homebody. I mean, there could be times he likes to get out in nature, of course, and be with others, but he loves a nice, cozy, warm home. He does struggle to emotionally relate to others, though. He's not overly romantic. He's practical. His love language is doing for others, and he leads by example. And he's very, very successful through years of dedication and hard work. And one thing I wanted to mention about the Page of Pentacles versus like the Page of Swords, both of those are very, very studious. However, the Ace of Swords typically gets their great grades because they're super articulate, they're bright, they love to read and download information into their minds. Whereas the Page of Pentacles is that one who they had to work for their good grades. Like every effort was made to get that good grade and that solid B in their course. So, it's a different approach to being studious with these pages. I just wanted to mention that, okay? All right, so now let's do my little exercise. And this is like a taste of what we do in the final video in this series. Except, well, I won't give it away. You got to check it out. These are from decks that I have created for my reading practice, and I'm already thinking of another one I want to create because there's always a need that's not necessarily fulfilled in the decks that are on the market today. Now, let's look at some defining characteristics that I associate with the quartz from the Pentacles. And this is why this is important that you do. Find decks that you can do these exercises with, okay? Expensive taste. Strong. They're physically strong. They're also very resilient, and they have a lot of tenacity, the Pentacles quartz, okay? They're dedicated. They have a certain kind of fortitude, whereas the Swords has the fortitude of the mind, the Cups has a fortitude of the heart, the Wands, of spirit and inspiration. You don't mess with the physicalness and resilience of the Pentacles. I typically associate them having dark hair and dark eyes. We could say the manly, masculine energy is associated with the King of Pentacles. Although you can interpret your quartz as you see fit. And sometimes it is nice to have decks that don't have set pronouns that you use, or that are flexible and fluid in that way to allow you the room to be able to interpret the cards as you wish to interpret them. Elderly or mature. Again, that could be for the Queen or King of Pentacles, the more mature crowd. Brown eyes, dark eyes. What you guys here? Black hair or dark hair. Woman. Young, that could be for the Page. Muscular. Tattoos, they're also into tattoos. Very friendly demeanor. Facial hair, they let their, nice beards, let them grow out. Again, darker features. And of course, you could have a fair-skinned Taurus. But it's just, when I'm talking about personifying these people, of course it's going to change from querent to querent, question to question, situation to situation. So that would be a given, right? Yeah, so let's see. Let's look over here. Now, they are ambitious. However, their ambition comes from putting in the work day by day, hour by hour, and it's a different kind of ambition than what you find in the inspired actions of the wands. All right, let's put that there for now. Strong values, sensual, quite sensual. Very important that the senses are activated for this group in all aspects, for themselves and the ones closest to them. They're super kind. Natural beauty, I mentioned before, down to earth. Quite maternal. When I saw this card as I was doing these exercises, I instantly felt Pentacles energy, Empress energy, I suppose, too. But certainly Pentacles with the greenery in the background. And she's actually about to birth a baby, and that is part of extending your family, your legacy, and a physical expression of the manifestation of having a baby. Marriage material, strong morals, strong background, whether it's their extended family background or their own personal background. They're nurturing, naturally mature, even probably for their age, reserved at times. There's that strength card, or being strong and responsible and honest. You can trust them. Again, more masculinity. Pleasant disposition. I love Tauruses and Virgos and Capricorns, because they seem to me very friendly and grounded and down to earth. At times demure, particularly the Page of Pentacles. I pulled in that Scent card again. Aspects of the physical body. Grounded, feet on the ground. Again, grounded. And for me, the earth elements, the earth quartz are the total package. Okay. Let's move you guys over here. I went through there. Now let's look at a few of the not so pleasant attributes. Now, I put family and friends. Sometimes family and friends can be almost just too important to these particular quartz. And it can cause some issues in the romance area. Okay, overgiving. There's a lot of over-involvement from family and friends. They may be turned off when there's a mismatch in drive and ambition. Okay, because they're driven and they're ambitious, and these quartz are willing to put in the work. They're willing to put in the work to get the job done, and it would drive them crazy if they encountered someone who is not at that same level or higher. Now, in the reverse of the Queen of Pentacles, I would say this mismanagement of life and funds would be most appropriate. In the upright position, she totally manages her life and funds. Like, she's an expert at it. So I just wanted to point that out too. Or maybe the corresponding cards tell you what kind of Queen of Pentacles she is on the table, your oracle cards, your other tarot cards. Can be physically messy in the reverse. So let's say the King of Pentacles showed up in reverse. The house is messy. That's not something that we would normally expect from this suit. They like to keep a very tidy home. So the Page of Pentacles can be a bit immature. That's pretty much consistent throughout all of the suits. Not taking life seriously, Page of Pentacles. Not as much of an issue, though, with this page than it is with the other suits. Unappreciative, they could come off as unappreciative, even though they very much appreciate things, that are being done, but it can come off as unappreciative. And they are really, they can be sometimes dogmatic in their beliefs, okay? And they're stubborn, and there's not much. Once they have something made up in their mind, it's really difficult to change it for them, okay? That's, my interpretation. Now, of course, your interpretation of all of this could be different. Remember that. So places they might like to reside. We have mansion. Remember, they like tattoos, tattoo shop. They may not be the ones drawing the tattoos. They probably are the ones receiving them. Physical fitness, gym. Dealing, they focus on making sure they're healthy. Not in all scenarios, of course, but we're talking about the physical body. So I put in the medical, dental, or office. They love their vehicles. They love to take care of it. Might be at the car wash. They usually have a nice home. And even if they had a tiny little apartment in the city, it's still, you go in there and you're like, oh, I like it here. Fitness. Remember, they're into all the senses. So smelling the foods, hearing the small conversations happening in the fine dining restaurant, tasting the food, smelling it, all of the senses just activated. Getting together with close friends and loved ones. Basketball court. Oh, maybe the bookstore. Maybe. I don't know why I put that one in there. They don't mind working. We got workspace, meeting. Some of them could be homebodies. Find them in the classroom or online, dealing with money matters, health matters, messages surrounding, finances, family matters, etc. Quite studious. Casino. Home. They're about their money, so they would be at the bank, opening new accounts, maybe for the Page of Pentacles, or maybe they're working at the bank. They're a loan officer, Knight of Pentacles, or maybe they're checking on their bank account and finances, Queen of Pentacles and King of Pentacles. They're running the bank. Repair shop, very good with your hands. You have to be very methodical when you're working on a car, okay? Take step by step, otherwise you can have a big issue, right? Repair shop. They love growing things. Flower garden, greenhouse. See that? Getting out in nature. Comfortable surroundings, living in the suburbs. Not all of them, of course, but that bakery, smell goods. Market. Mall. Queen of Pentacles shopping for gifts for her loved ones at the holiday season. Tranquil little cabin. Flower shop, buying flowers for the home, flowers for the wife. Flowers for yourself. I'm good for that. Going to the park, if they live in a suburban or urban environment, they need to get out into that greenery and natural surroundings. Loves, stomping around in the country. And they might be tending to their own orchards or the orchards of others. So there you have it, folks. This one went longer because I wanted to tie everything up together regarding all of the suits. The other videos, if you haven't watched them, are shorter. But the Pentacles, I wanted to take my time today. This is actually the second recording of this video. So I want to take my time with it. So let me know your thoughts, you guys. Let me know what's your favorite suits. Does any of this ring true for you? How do you work with your court cards? Do you have fun activities that you do to connect with them? What books you might recommend for those who really want to deepen their understanding of how to work with the court cards? We want to hear from you. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button. That really does help out the channel. It helps me out. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe. I have lots of video content planned in the works, and you don't want to miss it. You want to be the first one to catch those videos. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Big hugs to you. Much love. Don't forget to check out the last video in this series, and I'll see you there. Bye for now.